Right now, I'm sitting next to my housemate, Melissa, and she just filmed me. She says, "I want my chance." You're on.
I wanted to, I've been thinking about how much I was thinking about making a video with Arnold about food is not the most important thing, and then he made a video about that. And I was thinking, because the other day I told him that I spent most of 8th grade under the table, and like he was,
Literally.
yeah, well, literally, well, maybe half, but the rest of the another quarter I was probably on the ground doing something. But Arnold had wanted me to make a video about that, and I said no. And then I thought, well, I could turn that into a video about how it's not what it seems, because during that time, it was actually one of the better times in that whole period when I was under the table. It was like the beautiful transitory thing, because before that was 8th grade, and 7th grade I was in a school that I really felt trapped and paralyzed, and I was kind of isolated. I had my whole own aide, and that was intimidating. No one talked to me right because I had my whole aide, and she helped me get through. Told me to leave the class when I couldn't even get myself to leave the class because I was just so paralyzed. And then, but the whole thing is, that was that experience. That, and Arnold would say that doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. And then in 8th grade, they're like, "Oh, get Melissa out of here. It's not working." Okay, get Melissa out of here. It's not working. Okay, yeah. And finally, they're pushing me out, and I was like, "But I thought everything was fine. I thought I was gonna live that way for the rest of my life. I thought it was gonna be miserable." And but then it turned out that the school was great. And what did I do? Because the school was great, I hid under the table. That's what really happened. So there you go. The food isn't the most important thing. The most important thing is having somebody, whether it's you or somebody else, saying that you actually believe in somebody. And that's what this other school did. Whereas one time, 7th grade, it was like, "Okay, you can't do math today? Oh shit. Like, we should be able to do math today. Oh no, we're gonna sit here for 2 hours, like, in pain. But we can't do anything because the whole walls are concrete. Everything's overwhelming. There's 500 kids. They're all going through some terrible stuff. But, like, you get some special stuff, but really, like, you're miserable, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't really matter. But in the other school, it was kind of like all the teachers somehow managed to, like, believe in everybody. So there's, like, 15 teachers and 50 kids, and all the kids have they've been through some kind of situation where they needed somebody to really think, to really believe that they're smart and that they can do stuff. And a lot of those kids, a lot of me was believing that I was a certain way, that was the way it was the way, and it was because people have told me, and because that view and that vision was so painful that I actually was, like, so attached to it. But then people were actually like, no, like teachers, and to me that was unbelievable, right? Because up until that point, all the teachers had been like, well, it is a certain way, and now we're gonna do it this way. And they didn't, like, think critically about that. These teachers, they're in the critical realm of that. They're like, no, stop believing that right now. Stop telling me that. Like, you're telling me that, oh, you can't think about doing this. Like, you can't think of yourself like you can do this. You have all these thoughts that are clearly limiting you. Let's, like, shed them. And I was like, no, I can't do this. I can't. And they're like, why? Like, and then, that kind of juxtaposition of, well, these adults who are also my teachers are telling me not to believe those things was something I'd never seen before. So I had to deal with it, and it was kind of a, sometimes dealing with it I was under the table, sometimes over time I wasn't, but it was kind of a stressful thing to make that shift. And then in 12th grade, they told me, shut up, you're normal. They told me that. It wasn't at that school, it was at some other setting. And I never talked about what I thought in my head, but one day it came out, the ugly stuff came out, and the response by somebody was, shut up, you're normal. And I was shocked. I was in 12th grade. After that, my grades changed and everything got better and I was doing things great. Then I kind of, it shook me up a lot. Yeah, so I wasn't even eating raw anything. I was eating it didn't matter what I was eating. Like that stuff, it didn't come from what I was eating or what I wasn't eating. So I just wanted to make that point.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Live with Melissa.
Uh,
Bye.